You were listening to episode 115 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John. I'm joined by Ryan.
Hey, everybody, here at the Game Deflators Podcast, we like to talk about games. We've recently picked up games we're currently playing, and we get blitzed in today's Inflation Deflation Challenge.
Damn, you made it sound funner than what it actually was. Okay.
I had a good time.
I mean, I know we're in Arizona, but dude. So this week we played some NFL Blitz 2000 on the N64. I used the Miami Dolphins against Ryan's Denver Broncos.
Yes.
So that was a lot of fun. We'll get into that a little bit later. This week is definitely going to be a slow news week for sure. There wasn't a whole lot, dude.
Lots of numbers.
Lots of numbers, yeah. So,
big numbers.
Yeah. So the first one we've got is a PlayStation patent that hints at some major news for a PS5 feature.
We've been expecting this.
Yeah, we've been expecting some different news that's come up. U.S. consumers spent record amounts on video games in 2020, NPD reports, which we kind of talked about this a while back, but this is some more numbers. And then we also got some NPD numbers on Nintendo dominating the first half of...
With half of the top 20 games.
With half of the top 20 games, yeah. God, I keep thinking first half of the year. I'm like, geez, we're not even like close to that yet. And then the next one is what we want from Ubisoft's massive open world Star Wars game. So,
Ubisoft Massives. Ubisoft Massive is the studio.
It's going to be a massive game, though. Ubisoft's massive Star Wars game, and also made by Ubisoft Massive.
Yeah, it's weird. When I put that in there, I was telling John, I was like, got to make sure there's no typo so he doesn't call me out again.
I screwed it up.
I was like, he's still gonna get caught on this because it's worded. Worded
what? Worded weirdly. Weirdly worded. Okay. All right, so dude, let's jump in like we normally do on a week-to-week basis. Current pickups. I do see that you got something.
Sort of.
So, okay, we'll start with you.
So I spent money on a free game.
You're not supposed to do that. It's free.
Yeah, John's been talking so much Apex Legends lately. I had to dive in and give it a shot, and I wound up buying whatever the cheapest, like 1,000 credits is, so that I could get the premium battle pass and get some cool stuff to get me started. And I'm having a blast. I've been playing it nonstop. There's been multiple times this week. Because I've only been playing this week. I've been up to like 2 a.m. twice. Yeah, I've been putting in some hours. I mean, John is like level 49, and he's been playing like an extra week longer than me, and I've just hit level 40.
It's kind of sad.
So I'm climbing on him.
Yeah, you're not climbing on me. You're gaining on me.
All of this time, not playing Persona.
Dude, you gotta play Persona. I shouldn't have got you in Apex. Should not have done it. I mean, I gotta play my new game's resolution as well, but mine's a little shorter than 50-something hours. I think Conker's is probably 15, 20 hours at most.
Yeah,
roughly.
Then I don't know how long Odyssey is going to take.
Oh yeah, you got Odyssey too. Oh, you were boned, and you got Blue's Clues.
Oh yeah, that's only an hour though.
Yeah, we got an hour.
But Mario Odyssey can't be more than like 20, 30 hours at most. I'm not gonna get everything.
I don't recall. To be honest,
exactly. I'll plead the fifth.
We'll see if Ryan can complete this week. Otherwise, he gets double the Blue's Clues. Maybe we'll have him complete Mrs. Spider's Tea Party.
No, not again.
All right, so I would assume Apex Legends is you're currently playing. So what do you think of the game now that you've got a week into it?
I think it's freaking awesome. I love it. Let's see. I've mostly been just like playing the challenges for this season. So I've been playing a bunch of different characters. I started off playing with Gibraltar, and now I don't really like him so much. Lifeline's super dope. I love... you like Lifeline a lot.
That's my main, yeah.
Yeah. Lifeline was okay. I played a bunch with her because there was like 5 or 6 challenges that had to do with her, so I played a bunch. Pathfinder's pretty cool. I like being able to zip around. Bloodhound's cool. If you guys haven't played Apex Legends, it's a like hero type battle royale shooter where each hero has like a couple different skills that makes them different, but for the most part everybody's just a person with a gun, so it doesn't matter too much. But there's lots of different characters that all have completely totally different stuff going on with them. It's free. The premium battle pass is a good investment. Like it looks like if you buy it, you get enough premium currency back from it that you can just buy the next one with that premium currency and probably just keep it going. So you can probably pay $10 and get like a lot of stuff out of it. There's certain things that it's definitely always pushing you to buy stuff, and like those like loot crates come really quick at the beginning, and now they're kind of drip fed a lot more. So it's got all that, you know, same kind of gotcha mechanic stuff, but the gameplay is just so fun. Like, I feel like it's still not terrible because it is a free game. But, you know, if this was like a $60 game and they wanted you to get all this stuff, yeah, that would be absolutely terrible. Like, I'm not advocating for loot boxes. We spend a lot of time bashing loot boxes here. So it's a very reasonable game. I feel like you can have a lot of fun for free.
Well, and when we typically will bash loot boxes, it's along the lines of, you know, improvements to the game that are not cosmetic based things, or it's, I mean, yeah, there's the gambling aspect of it. That's why, you know, and I haven't touched any loot boxes in this game at all. I've gotten whatever I've gotten.
Just the free ones, yeah.
Yeah, and then whatever I can get from the challenges and such, which is enough there that you don't need to actually spend any money. But it's the companies that are like, oh, you want to specifically unlock this character and you have to buy it, and making it nearly impossible to be able to unlock them. That's where it's kind of crazy. So, like, this one, I think it's like probably every 20 levels or so, you can unlock a character. Is kind of what
Close
I think
to
it comes
that,
out
yeah.
to. Yeah, because like I unlocked my first other character, which was Revenant, at like level 20, and then around the level 40 range, maybe 42, I unlocked Caustic.
Yeah, I'm 40 and I'm almost about ready to unlock my second. So it's like, if you're playing this on like a normal schedule, not like barreling through it every day like I've been doing, then you can probably get like a character a week.
Yeah.
Or so, depending on how much you play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's not difficult, you know, to kind of get that level.
I guess later on in levels, it'll take longer, though.
Yeah, it should take longer, and I mean, I would imagine it would, but I think as you obviously level up, you get better at the game, so you're theoretically going to be able to, I wouldn't say you're going to win more, because it's difficult to win, but
you're going to get more points.
Yeah, you're going to be able to rack up more kills, you're going to be able to last longer, and that's not to say you're always going to, because I've been in games where
There's
I played
so many times where you just drop into like a
Yeah.
7-way firefight in those stupid apartments.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like those firefights, and when you do drop in, I've dropped in with like level 500 characters, and we've been out like immediately.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I've played games with 500 level characters where they go down right away. I get a couple kills and recover them. I mean, and level doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it, I guess, but it just kind of shows you that as you kind of progress higher, you are going to get better. So at a level 40, I'm here playing with like level 150s and 200s and 500s, and I'm holding my own. And that's after a couple weeks of playing. So I think if you, I wouldn't say put in dedication, but if you put in the time and practice and kind of get better at it and understand the characters and mechanics and the flow of things, and you know, I think once you kind of get used to that speed of a game, it does get easier, and leveling up isn't so bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to have like a new one of these games to kind of follow. It's been a long time since I've really been into like an online shooter, and I've never played a battle royale game before.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to track the evolution of this. I know this game came out like just a few months after we started the podcast, so it's been around since 2019. We started in late 2018.
Yeah.
So
I remember when this initially came out, we were talking about it. And
because it was kind of like a sleeper hit. Like it came out of nowhere and was like huge.
Yeah.
And I remember them talking about like how good the ping system was, like how like you had a character that could like see footprints and stuff and like track people. And I'm like, oh, Bloodhound, I get it now.
Yeah, so I mean, it kind of sucks that we, you know, didn't play this back then, but man, I would have spent a lot of my life playing this game.
Yeah.
And I probably will now spend a lot of time.
Think of all the Persona I wouldn't have played last year.
Oh, yeah.
Had I known.
You wouldn't have played anything. I probably wouldn't have played Shenmue. But no, I did actually, so going into my currently playing, I have been playing Apex. I got up to level 49 this week, and I'm enjoying it, dude. I love the takedown thing that they got going on right now, so you've got the kitted weapons that are already set in stone, and it's interesting to kind of just dive into that and have all those weapons already set. And then also, I've played against kitted weapons where I go on the outskirts, pick stuff up, and kill those that have kitted weapons as well. So it's really an interesting concept they got going on right now, the whole Fight Night takedown type thing going on. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Like it's a blast so far. But I did put it down for a moment the other day because I had to
How dare you?
prep for D&D, because I had my D&D session this week, which is going pretty good. The DMing is nice. So catch some of our prior episodes on D&D, and we'll go into where you can find that in a bit. And I also played a little more Jade Cocoon. So Jade Cocoon has been on the back burner since I started playing Apex, and Dragon's Crown is on the back burner. My wife and I got back into Vikings, so
The show,
yeah, it's the last season. I think we got like 3 episodes left, so it was kind of a double whammy, right? So we're sitting there, we had just finished one show, and we saw The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina's final season was on, so we watched that. And then I was talking to a coworker who's like, "Oh yeah, the final season of Vikings is on," so we got into Vikings. So it's just been like several weeks of just TV. Like every day we just watch TV.
Yeah, we've been watching K-dramas.
Yeah, I can't watch K-dramas. But yeah, so Jade Cocoon, I got a little further. I was clearing out the spider forest and getting some more creatures and capturing them and leveling them up and whatnot. I did make some progression in the game. And I mean, honestly, the way the game is progressing is like by chapter, it seems almost. Like how it breaks down. So I don't know how far I am. I should probably look into that. But I would say, based on what I'm seeing in the size of this game and how it's working, I'd say I'm probably about 50% through on this title. So my goal is going to be, of course, to play more Apex this week and definitely hammer out some hours of Jade Cocoon here and there in the week and see how far I can get. And tomorrow I got off, so tomorrow is going to be hardcore, just like Jade Cocoon all day if I can do it.
There you go.
Yeah. And then Collector's Edition of Streets of Rage 4 came in this week, so that's going to be my pickup. So I was pretty happy, and I know Church of Game Grinder, he actually got his as well, and he was pretty happy. He has a pretty cool reveal video. If you haven't seen that, so check out the Game Grinder for his reveal video of, or I guess his unboxing of it. And
the reveal.
I didn't check out his yet, so I definitely have to check out his unboxing, but mine had like issues with both the Sega Genesis carts that are inside. So the nice metal collector's edition cart definitely shattered the interior holder of the Sega Genesis box. So Limited Run is going to send me a new one because I'm just not about to go buy one on my own when it was their product and shipping that did it. And the one that, for whatever reason, the one that holds the PS4 game case and the Steelbook case, that also shattered during shipping, which is crazy. And I know that like the plastic is fragile, but damn, dude, like I've shipped out some Genesis games in just a straight out bubble mailer and had never had that issue of a case. So they got some cheap ass cases that they bought. And then the box itself is just like, it feels like super high quality, but the lid does not actually fit properly on the box itself. So along the edges, the seams of the actual like lid, it's split on the sides. So I had to super glue that, and even afterwards it's split again because it's just not like, it's a really nice sturdy box, but it's just not properly fit. And I bought 2 collector's editions, so that happened to one, and then the other one I was going to keep sealed is also split. So that kind of sucks. Oh,
really?
Yeah. I was so pissed. So I messaged, and they were actually really quick on their warranty, or not warranty, but their ticket system. I just reached out, I'm like, hey, the tops of those boxes are split. Here's some pictures of the box, as well as what I've got going on the cases and the shattering in there. Like, oh, well, here's like 5 different options on how you can go about this. Like, you can return it and get your money back. You can do a direct exchange, or we'll just send you literally the exact same product back. We can send you back product. In some cases, you may need to send us something back. So like, say I told them the disc was scratched, that'd be an instance where they would need the game back and they'd send it back to me. But yeah, like super quick, super helpful. And I haven't heard anything back on the ticket, but I got that Friday, so I'd imagine they're already logged off. Yeah, long weekend and such. So we'll see what happens this week, and I guess I'll keep people updated. But that being said, Ryan, you can go ahead and look trivia up. All I do is because I haven't looked up trivia. But
you were doing trivia.
All right, fine. I'll look up trivia. But you can find us and our podcast.
Yeah. You can find us and our podcast online at places such as thegamedeflators.com. It's a great place to go. You can find us anywhere that you listen to a podcast. I don't know, where are you listening right now? You can find us there. You already did. Good job. Give yourself a pat on the back. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Podcast Addict. I don't think Google Podcasts is a thing anymore. The Google Play Music. Now they're doing like their own podcast app. I haven't really looked into that. We should be on Spotify. You can also find us on our social media. You can find us at Game Deflators on Twitter because they don't like that. And you can find us at The Game Deflators on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter.
YouTube we haven't updated very long.
Well, Twitter is just at.
Yeah. But of course, leave reviews on there.
Yeah.
And yeah. Okay, so
You got it?
kind of.
That was
kind
a
of.
terrible film.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna test Ryan's knowledge here. I know you haven't played this one. Have you played
your
Persona
mind.
5?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's not gonna work, folks. Have you played Animal Crossing New Leaf?
No.
Damn it, Ryan. Damn it. Those I can't go with.
John's trying to get too specific.
I am. You haven't played Cuphead, right?
Nope.
No. Man.
I've always wanted to play Cuphead. It looks so good.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Ask your question.
Ask my question. Oh my god, dude! I just went to this like random question, and there's just like nothing in here that's very good. Okay. We're going to give you a history question.
History.
The video game Assassin's Creed Unity is set primarily in what city during the French Revolution?
Paris.
Yes, you got it. Okay, one more hard one, and this can be for the folks that are
How was that hard? You said the French Revolution. It would be in the capital of France.
It could have taken place somewhere else in France. Okay.
Specifically at the Bastille.
Or the catacombs, which maybe...
The catacombs?
Maybe you go in there.
Down in the catacombs.
Okay, so who is the last boss in Street Fighter 3?
Shinakuma.
No, it is Gil.
Damn you, Gil.
It is Gil. Okay.
Gil?
Gil.
Not-
Gill.
Oh.
That's what it says. I'm going off
I
the
didn't
trivia.
know there was a Street Fighter named Gil.
I didn't either, and I don't play much Street Fighter. So if you enjoyed that trivia, let us know. If you have trivia suggestions, of course, Ryan just told you where to find us. Let us know on there, too.
Did you see they discovered, Shinakuma, unlockable in, I think it was, Street Fighter 2 Turbo or something? After, all these years?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was, the final, secret that the game had. There's some crazy way you gotta, beat the arcade mode and then do some special inputs with, a second controller, and then you can play as him.
I'll have to see that. That's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, they just found it, like a week or two ago.
Well, it's interesting, too, when you kind of think about the idea of... why is my mouse not working here? When you just kind of look at the fact that it's been that many years and nobody figured it out, and, no developer or anybody that, worked on the game specifically was like, oh, yeah, you can totally do this.
Yeah, I just saw some other news that's interesting. I think I talked last week that I had been watching Summoning Salt's videos on YouTube with speedruns.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw an update pop in my Google feed this week about somebody nailing some super shortcut on Rainbow Road, I think for Mario Kart Wii.
Really?
Or something.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's...
It was supposedly it'd been done tool assisted, but they thought it was impossible for humans. So
yeah,
I think the record just got cut back again. I should read these articles before I talk about them.
Yeah,
so I know
probably
what I sound like.
Yeah. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, though, those are actually super cool situations in games where after so many years, something crazy happens that you didn't think was possible, and when you have those new records that come up years down the road for certain video games. I think I know it's not Guinness, but if you Google video game world records. I think there's a website. I don't remember the name of it.
Twin Galaxies?
No, it's not Twin Galaxies. It's some
Speed
independent
demos.
No, I don't remember the name. So you would recognize it just by the interface. You go on, it literally just gives you a drop down of the types of game systems and the games that you would want to see records for, and it just shows videos where it'll show an explanation of how they did it and what they did and the time breakdown of the person that actually set the record. And it just has it's kind of like a thumbnail setting where it just kind of lays it out in rows of 3, and you just kind of go down. You're like, Mario Kart, what records are on Mario Kart? And it'll say fastest lap with Peach of all time, fastest time beating arcade mode. It'll just kind of break everything down for you, and it's super cool. So that's one to look at. All right. Our first article that we have here is PlayStation hints at major news PS5 feature, and that's by Michael Lee at Game Rant.
We've been waiting for this one, folks.
Yeah, so this one, yeah, right. So this was pretty cool. Patents don't always happen, and, you can have a million patents hit the, the wire, and it's nothing, right? But usually when a patent is made, there is some sort of intention, right, to at least try to make something happen. And in this case, Sony has a patent for a really a messaging type system, which in a sense would kind of act like a guide, like a walkthrough as you're playing a game. So the way I envision this, and you did as well, is kind of like Dark Souls, where you can leave a message with maybe some sort of ping or something on screen that comes up to say oh, beware of enemy ahead, or giant fall up ahead, which would probably help me in Apex, given the amount of times I've flown off screen.
Oh my god, there's so many times where I'm playing as Pathfinder and I'll zip line up a wall just to fall into the abyss on the other side of it.
Yeah, exactly. So I've had that issue too. Not with Pathfinder, but just running and then jumping, which is kind of sad. But yeah, so there would be some sort of message system. And I think they said in this article that EA had also put out like a patent or, they put out a patent for this as well at some point, a similar system. So
it says that EA filed a patent for a quality-based matchmaking system to improve how players are grouped together in online play.
Which actually would be pretty badass, because that's something I'm seeing in Apex right now, is getting paired up with like level 200s and 300s, and I'm a level 49. Like, why would I be playing against those people? But it's fine if you can hold your own. But yeah, so I think, dude, this would be a pretty cool system to have in place. It would be nice because you wouldn't necessarily have to like Google whenever you get like stuck in a game. It's just a matter of like, oh, let me ping it. Let me see if, what's going on. And it would also remove, I would say, the need for like hint systems in games. Potentially, like,
it would just supplement it, I think, because it would be like the developers would still want you in an offline environment to be able to, get the benefits of an in-game hint system. That would just be a layered on top approach. Like, I could see it going as a way to just like lead the way for people to follow. Like, probably, a system like that wouldn't be used forever, because eventually people are just not going to be interested in leaving notes, because whoever the first person that plays the game is going to go through and leave that, first helpful hint, and then somebody else is going to be like, fake wall, and it's not going to be a fake wall.
Well, that's something that you always run into with Dark Souls and those other games.
But it's like people
BS.
will do that, but eventually, all the good hints will be there and all the dumb hints will be there, and it'll be fun or whatever, but it'll just be like a little overlay. The one that I was more excited, they briefly mentioned in the article that there's a new PSVR headset with haptic feedback.
Well, there was a patent put for that. I think it was November. I don't remember if we talked about that. We probably did, about the idea of like a haptic feedback based VR headset that was wireless. Mm-hmm. It was back, I think it said November 25th is what it was linked to. So actually not too long ago, I guess, is maybe a little over a month and a half ago that was brought up.
Feels like an age.
Oh yeah. But what's really interesting about that too, so yeah, that message system is pretty awesome. And like, I can imagine that with a VR headset for sure. Like, just sitting back in a game and a message pops up on something that you should do or shouldn't do in the game. And one thing I did notice, though, in that article about the headset, at least that it transitioned to, was, I guess, like the current headset that's out on PS4, it is of course compatible with the PS5, and Sony's doing a cool thing where it'll just send you a free adapter to be able to play it. So that's pretty interesting. So if you have VR and you didn't know about that,
now
you're planning on getting a PS5, yeah, Sony's giving away an adapter to be able to do it for free. Okay. So I don't think there's much else to talk about with this. It's, just envision Dark Souls is kind of what we're looking at. Messaging-based system would kind of act as a guide. And then, of course, as Ryan said, probably supplemental to the hint-based system like you would see in probably like an Uncharted, like any Naughty Dog style game, or really any game of that nature that has that hint-based system. Next, U.S. consumers spent record amounts on video games in 2020 per an NPD report. So this one is by John Porter at The Verge. Ryan, what are the numbers here? I know we talked about it a while back, but this is probably a little more definitive given that it's officially end-of-year numbers.
So spending on video games set a new record of $56.9 billion in 2020 in the U.S., that's according to a new NPD group report. A 27% increase compared to 2019. Let's see. Spending on hardware hit its highest level since 2011 at $5.3 billion, a 35% increase compared to 2019. And as we all know, most of this is all Switch stuff because there just wasn't enough PS5s and Xboxes out there for everybody. I'd be interested to see too if for the gaming hardware, if that includes like all the new graphics cards and stuff that came out. I wouldn't be sure if that would be kind of included as gaming or if that is just like a PC thing that goes under its own statistic. But either way, those are some big numbers showing once again that the industry is absolutely killing it.
I don't know if it was that article or another one, because we had a couple that were pretty similar in terms of content to try and at least kind of piece things together and get a better picture of the overall market. But they had said that the Switch was, of course, number one in overall hardware sales, followed by the PS5 on that one. Then they had referenced that Microsoft said that the Xbox Series X and S launch was really the greatest that they've had to start out a console series or console lifespan. So it's really interesting overall, and that's given that, you know, the limited amount of product that's in the market right now, specifically for Sony and Microsoft, with those two consoles that just got released, which is kind of insane because, like, despite the fact that there was a global pandemic occurring, you'd think that, you know, they would have had more potentially consoles available, and they didn't. And of course, we're in this whole like shit show of, you know, bots and everything still, and it's still really difficult to get your hands on a PS5. And, you know, obviously the pandemic has a lot to do with it, because this is worse than any time in at least my recent memory where a console is launched and there's been like a limited amount of consoles available in the market. Even when the Switch released, it felt like it was still like available. Like you could go somewhere and find it in the store on a whim when it was delivered in store. Versus now, because everything's like transitioned so much to online sales, it's like nearly impossible. You can't get it in store, and when you do find it in store, it's, you know, maybe one or two, and you gotta hopefully catch it before somebody else does.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what pushed me to get my Switch when I got it, but I didn't get it at launch. I got it like maybe 4 months, somewhere between 4 and 7 months after it came out. And I'll probably do the same with the Xbox. I was reading online, double checking again, and it looks like they're still planning on having some availability, hopefully by like April.
Yeah.
So I could wait a few more months, you know. But yeah, in the kind of companion article that we have to this, talks about Nintendo really stealing the spotlight in these reports, closing out half of the top 20 selling games of the year.
I can go down this list really quick, just quickly to talk about those top 20 games that Nintendo had. So
10.
Or top 10, sorry. Well,
10,
I mean, they might as well be the top 20, just given how many are on there. Okay, so the list itself is going to be at number 1, and we're just going to go 1 down to 20. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, of course, it's multi-platform. Cyberpunk 2077, sorry. Multi-platform again. Assassin's Creed.
Well, it's not even about multi-platform, it's publisher. So, like, Nintendo made all these games.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, that's why these are so high, is because they are on multiple platforms. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. So the fact that that sold up to number 3 the month before, and then, of course, now sitting at number 4 is pretty impressive. Madden 21. Animal Crossing New Horizons is still in the top 10, which is insane given how long it's been out. So there's your Nintendo one. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, again, insane how high that is on the chart. NBA 2K21. Immortals Phoenix Rising. I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Super Mario 3D All-Stars, of course, given that it's a limited run for that one. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, again, another crazy, you know, game to be sitting that high. But if you look at the rank there, it says like it was 17 and now it's up to 11, which is just kind of...
That's great. I mean, it's all the new people that bought a Switch for the first time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because everybody has to have that. They should really have a bundle with that instead of Mario Kart.
You'd think, but they can definitely sell, you know, more of those separately, I would imagine. And that's also something to consider too, is how many of those Mario Kart 8 Deluxes and like the Animal Crossing like are technically tied to a bundle.
Well, Mario Kart's not even on here.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Mario
yeah,
Kart
it
8
is.
Deluxe.
It was
I mentioned
7.
it, number 7. Just Dance 2021, so multi-platform as well. Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. That dropped significantly from 6 to 13. FIFA 21, which that surprises me compared to like Madden and NBA, primarily because FIFA is just such a popular game everywhere. New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Super Mario Odyssey hitting up at 16 from 34. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Super Mario Party, Ring Fit Adventure, Mortal Kombat 11, and then this says digital sales not included in these figures for a lot of those Nintendo titles. So the fact that digital sales are not included in that,
especially for the Switch, because how many people like want to have digital games on their Switch because they can take it easier with them wherever they go. They don't have to worry about having all their carts.
But here's what's insane, dude. Digital sales are not included, and they have the asterisk for like Animal Crossing and Cyberpunk and NBA 2K21, but things like Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty. Those don't have the asterisk. So that's leading me to believe that that's including digital sales. So it's kind of crazy. Like, Nintendo might be even higher than this based on digital sales alone. So, I mean, dude.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, it's insane. And, of course, all of those games, with the exception of Just Dance, are on Nintendo's top 10 of December 2020 sales. So that is pretty crazy, dude. Like, that's just... I don't know. It's nuts. So December 2020, those were the sales that came out, and I'm kind of curious to see what happens in January with a lot of these sales. So maybe that's something we can jump back into after the fact. All right. So our next article that we've got going here, unless you've got anything else. In that article, by the way, that December 2020 figures was Jeff Grubb at VentureBeat. All right. The big
Last
news,
but not least.
the big, exciting, but yet disappointing news.
Oh, not disappointing at all.
No. It's disappointing to an extent. Of the Star Wars, this open world Star Wars game that is supposed to be happening, and it's by Ubisoft Massive. Now, Ubisoft Massive, from what we know, also did some Tom Clancy games not too long ago, and they were apparently hot garbage. And
The Division series?
Yeah, and in Ubisoft in general, we've seen so many bugs in all of their games. They might as well just be Bethesda.
Lots of bad press all over we talked about that at the end of last year.
So the fact that they got, the chance to make an open world game, and then, like, as much as you want to hate on EA, the Jedi Fallen Order, from what I understand, is a very good game.
Yeah, but I think it's just the availability for the license now. For other people to take a stab at it. Like, for them to control it and do such a piss poor job for so long. Like, neither of the...
Well, I mean, it's not like Ubisoft's been, like, breaking down doors either.
No, but I mean, like, EA's sole control over the Star Wars franchise for the last, 10 years or so? Like... is crazy. Like, I want to see other studios, and not necessarily like Ubisoft studios, give some other cool studios out there some room to mess with it, do something with it, tell a story in that universe, especially now that I feel like since EA has had control, the Star Wars universe has opened up so much more. We've got rumors for another Rogue Squadron game.
Mm-hmm.
The Star Wars Squadron game that's out now is supposed to be really good. I guess that would be EA still. I don't know, but
well, the one interesting thing that's mentioned here is that LucasArts at the end of the day is going to have that final say, in a sense, on the story and how the game progresses. And by the way, we didn't mention it, but this is Washington Post, and this is Mike Hume, Gene Park, and Elise Favis, it looks like. I can't see from here. My eyesight's terrible. But yeah, so LucasArts is supposed to have some oversight on this game. And, one of the things that, in talking about what we want this type of game to be, and I mean, of course, let us know what you want this game to be. I'm not the hugest Star Wars fan in terms of keeping up with the exact universe, and anybody that listens to this podcast knows that I'll forget names from a show or a video game within a couple weeks after beating it. I just don't remember that crap. It's just not important to me. Same can be said with Star Wars. I just don't remember a lot of the core names, from the recent series. Obviously Han and Luke and Leia, those are names that
OG
have been
Star
around.
Wars.
Yeah, I remember those, but I know Rey and Poe, and then I guess it's Finn on the new one. That's
who's the bad guy?
Kylo Ren.
Yeah,
I guess technically. So yeah,
big tree of a man.
Yeah, but what's his face from? The one that the Mandalorian.
What's his face? The guy from space with the helmet.
With the helmet, yeah, the Mandalorian. What's his name?
I don't know, Mando.
I guess they call him Mando.
I don't know.
Thing. I just
I haven't watched it yet.
I just finished that because I think season 2 is that's it, season 2, and I know Boba Fett, but Mando or whatever. I don't remember his damn name, and I just finished the series, so that kind of shows you where I'm at with Star Wars. But that being said, I would welcome this type of game as long as it wasn't some random ass fetch quest type of game where you're just having to constantly do side quests and fetch quests within this game to get something done. And that's kind of counter to my thoughts on Ghost of Tsushima, but that's different because it's more of an enclosed type of environment versus, I don't know, this would be just huge. It'd have to be massive. Are they planning on space travel, which would be awesome, and being able to customize your ships? Are they looking at taking on a certain role, and you're on a certain planet, and maybe it's only on one planet. I mean, there's a lot of questions, I would have here. And when does it take place? Is it before the Republic, before the Empire? Like, what time frame are we looking here on this whole thing? And of course, like, please don't rehash, like the what is it, Rise of Skywalker. Like, and if you haven't seen it, sorry, I'm gonna spoil some stuff here, but having to go from one planet to get something, to go to another planet to get something, to go to another planet to get something, to then go ahead and defeat the boss. Like, that's really what it felt like during that movie, as fun as it was. And, I did enjoy it, but still, it wasn't like what you'd anticipate from a movie, especially given like the time frame they had to build that out. And I just really hope they don't do that in a video game format, where it's just like having to go to multiple planets to defeat this end boss at the end of the day. Like, being able to build up and like, whether it's one character or like one world, or go to different worlds, maybe it's something similar to like, what's the game where it has like infinite types of worlds, that was really crappy when it came out, but now it's pretty good. The Fall one, or God. Dude, I just don't remember.
No,
these games.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I always think Star Citizen now, and that's not the game.
Here, I'm just gonna look up game with infinite planets. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. I always forget. I was just talking to my friends.
Well, in my mind, I was like Skyfall. Like I was like fall. Like, what is it?
Fall Guys.
Fall Guys. Skyfall Guys. Made by Fallout Wars. So yeah, I mean, if it was something kind of similar to a No Man's Sky, I think that'd be pretty cool. Like that type of format. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what Ubisoft can do, and I'm not super excited about it. I mean, we saw what the company pushed out with their remaster of Prince of Persia, and what they've pushed out, the same exact formula for Assassin's Creed since the PS3, essentially. I'm just not confident that we're gonna, maybe we're gonna end up getting like Assassin's Creed Wars is what we're pretty much gonna get in this case. And I swear, if they try to do open world Boba Fett, because he's an assassin of some sort, that like that's just, he's a bounty hunter obviously, but like making him into some sort of weird assassin and taking bounties like an Assassin's
Creed, a Galaxy Far Far Away edition.
I gotta be so pissed if they took that approach, and I could
see
that'd
be hilarious.
Yeah, so I don't know. I talked a lot.
He's on this. Got like, instead of like a hidden blade, he's got like a little hidden lightsaber. It just comes out tiny.
Oh my god, dude, that's so bad. Wouldn't he like? What if he like moved his hand down though? Because it's a lightsaber.
He's Boba Fett. He wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's true. He's too smart. So what's
your
overall?
By sandworm.
What's your overall thought on this, man?
I would love to see some cool Star Wars games that I would want to play. I did want to play Fallen Order. I just haven't. I think that it'll be a good opportunity for this studio to showcase working with a non-Tom Clancy IP and see what they can do with the setting. I think that it'll definitely open the doors for hopefully more interesting takes and more different takes. Like, I love the edges of the Star Wars universe that aren't necessarily like about the Jedis and stuff. And I know that they've done some stuff in the past. What was that one that we played where it was like the Squad? It was on Xbox.
Oh, the Commando one?
Yeah.
Republic Commando.
Republic Commandos. Like, something like that would be cool again.
I guess you have to have a compelling enough story to go that route, because at the end of the day, people are fans of the Skywalker saga, and they're now fans of, the Mandalorian saga and how that's all tied in. And the real common thing between all of those is there's some form of Jedi tied to it. Rogue Squadron is a different case, and that was a badass film. It's easily my favorite film. But at the end of the day, you still had like that crazy Darth Vader tie-in, and like this is what happened before the saga kicked off. So
I say Rockstar picks it up, and we have like a Grand Theft Space Auto. You play as some like scumbag version of Han that goes around jacking people's starfighters.
I was gonna say you're Han Solo, basically. Can you imagine that? Rockstar pulls off Han Solo. That dude, like, come on, we got to patent these things. Disney's gonna catch us and take our ideas. Yeah. So overall, man, I think it's an interesting situation. I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm scared to see what's gonna happen. Jumping into our next piece here, man, is our inflation deflation game of a week. Played NFL Blitz 2000 by Midway Games and published by Midway Games, and it was released in 1999, of course, a year before. It was released, and then, well, a year before to,
All
how
the
it
hot
always
shit
is.
comes out the summer before.
Yeah. And then it is, of course, a sports game, and its reception is in the 8s. So, dude.
Well received. Well played.
Well
it was
played.
a good game. We had a tight game. John was up at one point.
28-14.
Well, you were up just 6 because you didn't go for the extra point, and then you got another touchdown, and you did the 2-point conversion to cover yourself. And then I managed to come back, and then we just wrestled back and forth. And on like the final play, we're in OT. Like, I think you were on the offense, and then you fumbled like right in front of your goal line, and I ran it back, and you tackled, but I fumbled it, and you recovered it, and it was over. And it was like
So I was winning.
It was nuts.
I was winning 28-14. Ryan comes back, makes it 28-21. I turn over on downs. It's 28-28. There's probably like, I don't know, like a minute left on the clock. I drive down. I make it 35 to, or no, it wasn't 35 at that point. It was just 28-28. So yeah, he drives down the field no, you had caught up, I think. You passed me. It was like 28-21 or something, or no? God, man, it was just okay.
Because you got your OT touchdown
You're
first.
right. Yes.
And I just tied it up to get us into OT.
So yeah, it was 28-21. Ryan comes back with like 30-40 seconds on the clock, gets a bomb of a touchdown, scores, leaves me with 6 seconds. I have no chance of getting a touchdown at that point. We go into OT. I get it first. I score off a bomb for sure. He comes back, and now at this point it's like back and forth.
McCaffrey's always open.
He scores again, making it 35-35. I score again, making it 42. He turns it over on downs. I get super greedy and go, oh man, I'm just going to go and like add on to my point total. I go ahead and throw like right at my goal line, fumble it. Ryan picks it up, runs it all the way down to like my 15, fumbles it. I pick it up and try to run it back. And then, of course, he tackles me and ends the game. But, dude, that was so close. I was freaking out. I thought you were going to take that all the way to the house, tie up the game again with like less than 15 seconds on the clock and screw me over.
This was one of those weeks where it's like, John's like, you want to play another one? I'm like, dude, we don't have time. Yeah. Come on, let's play one more. No, we don't have time.
We might have to play one more next week. Next week we got to play again.
We'll definitely play some more of this. This is a great game. This is like, I never played a whole lot of sports games, but I remember like NFL Blitz. I remember like Wayne Gretzky hockey on the N64. Like I did the majority of my sports games on the N64 during that period of time. And I mean, we had to look up how to use turbo again.
Mm-hmm.
But
the Z button, we learned it.
Yeah, this wasn't I think I remembered not necessarily like how to play, because I mean they all pretty much, play similarly, but like the feeling was back. Like I remember what it was like having these clutch moments as a kid, and just like, it was so good.
Yeah,
this is a great nostalgia kick game. It's a great sports game. It's so fun because it's like, it doesn't take itself like super serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like the players are barely there. They're just like these like amalgamations of giant arms.
Well, and then like there's certain situations where one guy's like, "Oh, I think I broke a bone," and the commentary on the side, like we just happen to both catch the guy doing an Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation, like at the last second. We're like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!" So yeah, definitely a lot of nostalgia there. I do have some other Blitz games, so God, man, I'm thinking Blitz the League 2 on PS3 next week. Catch that and see how that is. But brass tacks here, we've got the most expensive version is a complete Japanese N64 version at $37.48.
That must be crazy. Like imagine being like a kid in Japan in 99 and this comes out on the N64 and it's like, who are these guys?
Yeah. Well, I mean, football's huge on a global basis for
like in 99 though?
Well,
were they like streaming it like live on Dish?
Maybe. I don't know. I've never lived in Japan. I've only lived in the U.S. Who knows? I mean, if there's any Japanese followers on here, definitely let us know how you were watching the NFL in 1999. But the cheapest version, dude, is a loose PAL copy of PlayStation, going for $323. And then general numbers here for the N64 version, complete in box, is sitting at $26.99. That peaked at $34.99 at one point in time. You didn't put dates, Ryan. And then so at some point it peaked at $34.99. And then that is trending. It's at level right now. It's not moving anywhere. And then on a, God, you switched up terminologies on us randomly. We don't say level, we say steady. Loose sitting at $16.25. I think I picked this up at like $5 several years back. And it peaked at $18.95 at some point in time. And that is actually trending upwards again. So I would say, dude, a loose copy of this sitting at $16.
That peak was in January 2015 for the complete inbox, and the peak was May 2020 for the loose.
That doesn't surprise me. So, honestly, a complete in-box copy at $26 for this game.
That sounds like a pretty good deal.
That actually is not a bad deal, I would think. So,
it's a cool box, too. It's got, like, the dude on fire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a badass box. So I would say...
I would pick this up for $27. Like, I've got the nostalgia for it. It's obviously a really fun game to sit down and play. Like, this is not a game that would just, like, sit on the shelf. You could have people over. You could play 4-player. You could get some money out of this game. And, if you found, like, a good-looking box, that's a really good price.
Yeah, and this game itself is, like Ryan's saying, a lot of fun. I mean, we had a blast with just two of us. We have two buddies over, and we're playing, like, against one another. That'd be badass, dude. Like, I would have a lot of fun playing this game with other people. But yeah, dude, $16.25, I think that's definitely deflated. I think it could easily be, if you found this game for $20 and, at a shop and that's what they were charging, it wouldn't be a bad deal to pick it up for $20, especially if you intend on playing it. I mean, Madden is Madden, right? But Blitz is Blitz, and you're not going to get that nostalgia feel on Madden. Like, you might, if you played, but imagine picking up, like, Madden 2000. It's essentially the same mechanics it's always been for years, and it's just kind of progressed, right? There's different things that have occurred in Madden that have made passing better, or, the speed of a game might have changed, or how you kick the ball, but Blitz is Blitz. And if you go to, like, any random arcade in the country and you have a Blitz machine, you're going to get the same experience here that you would if you were playing in the actual arcade. And we had played at Starfighters.
Yeah, we did that
before
one
they put
time.
in the Guitar Hero machine. And dude, I had a blast playing it then, and I had a blast playing it here. I played it at a Galloping Ghost arcade in Chicago with some friends. Definitely enjoyed it then. So, dude, yeah, $16.25, no brainer. This is deflated in my mind.
Deflated.
Alrighty. So we will have some Blitz the League #2 on the PlayStation 3 next week. That was a random, like, $3 pickup for me, by the way, that Blitz the League. So, kind of happy I got that.
We'll see how that investment has turned out for you next week.
Yeah, we'll see how much it is, but definitely catch us next week. But, of course, here are prior episodes. If you're interested in some D&D stuff, we've got some episodes on that, as well as some top 5s from 2020, and some of the favorite games that we had.
We'll keep playing football all the way up through the Super Bowl.
All the way to the Super Bowl. So, of course, find us on those podcast applications. Give us some 5-star reviews, 6 if you can. Find us on social media. And this has been episode 115 of the Game Deflators Podcast. My name's John.
I'm Ryan.
And thanks for listening.